Let's say that you're driving your entrepreneurship car and you want to figure out, how do I go from zero all the way to $100 million? Today, I'm going to show you the exact behind the scenes with numbers and revenue and failures of how we did this at AppSumo.com. What's crazy about that is this is 14 years later. This is a 100-person team, but it all started with, after $0, we had our one $12 sale with a PayPal button and Gmail. It was not easy and it was a lot of fun, but it's not just a straight line. There's a lot of hiccups and mistakes along the way that can help you succeed and make it easier for you in your business journey. Now let's start back before I even made my first dollar with AppSumo.com. I quit my own company. So I started a company called Gambit, which was payments for Facebook games. I don't really play games, I didn't like my partners, and I didn't like what we did every single day. And so I actually quit my own startup because I was trying so many things. I was starting, I was asking, which are some of the things I've talked about in $1 Million Weekend, but I could not find the business that felt right, as well as people were really excited about that business. I left Gambit, got a day job at speeddate.com. Don't go to the website. I don't think anyone got a date from that site, but they paid me $5,000 and that gave me enough money to really experiment with my own business ideas. What I noticed at that time was two things. Number one, I really love promoting things. I've been blogging online, I've been doing conferences, I've been trying to meet people, I've liked telling people about things, so I've always really liked that. And number two, what I noticed and got excited about is that all these people who were creating software, there wasn't many of them, I think there was about 10 at the time, they all needed help with marketing. And in all of my other businesses, Facebook, Mint, Gambit, all of our partners wanted more customers. So I realized that's the exciting problem to solve. Do the thing I love, which is promoting, and help people get more customers. And that's the opportunity. And the two first things I did not work. I started a site called softwaretaco.com. I figured you could leave reviews of software, people find the software and they go buy it. After a month of building the site, there was no traffic and there was no sales. Now the second idea I tried, still at $0, was a site called rewardlevel.com. You put a form here, you put a form here, and then you trade customers. No one used it as well. This is something to really be mindful of in your journey on entrepreneurship, is that you have to keep starting these things, but it doesn't work right away and you have to be okay with that. That's part of the fun. Now, finally, I said, all right, get inspiration outside of the thing you're looking at. If you're on Twitter or TikTok or social media all day, you may not get your inspiration. I saw a site called Mac Heist, which was Mac bundled software. And I said, oh, that's interesting. What if I did bundles or deals of software, but for web apps, web software? Now it's called SaaS. And at the time, there really wasn't that much of it, but I was like, this is really interesting. I cold emailed Alan, who is the founder of Imgur. He created software for photo hosting. I asked him for a deal. For every pro version that was normally $24, I would sell it at whatever price I wanted and pay him $7. Why would he do that? Well, one, software is basically zero cost for him. And two, I'm gonna go out and do a lot of marketing and promotion for him, and there's no expense or risk for Alan to take. Now, the second thing was I worked backwards from where the customers are. The customers are all on Reddit. So I posted on Reddit, hey, I've got an Imgur Pro deal. I bought some ads. I got Reddit to give me free ads just by asking. Within the first week, I sold 200 codes at $12, $2,400. It was very clear validation. Now, what I talk about in terms of validation is, can you get 3 customers in 48 hours? I was able to get over 200 of them. One of the biggest things people make a mistake on is that they're creating a business no one wants. You don't need to make a business. You need to create business that's based on demand of excited customers. And if you're trying to convince people and you're spending a lot of day and people don't want it, that's a realization you don't have a business and you can go find something people actually want. Within the weekend, I think we ended up getting a lot more than that on just this first deal, which was promoting Imgur at a discount. So I was like, oh, this is pretty damn sweet. Where's another place that has customers I'd like to promote to? And at the time, this is 2010, there's a site called lifehacker.com. They're still around, but at that time, they were the biggest, bestest, badass site for software products. You have to work backwards from your customer and work backwards from success. On Lifehacker, I went through every single one of their pages, every single blog post, and I found the most popular software products they've ever written about. And I figured if I can get deals on those, there's a high chance they're gonna wanna promote my bundle of software deals once that deal is out. So I contacted Evernote, Time Doctor. I was able to say, hey, I'm doing a bundle. I'm gonna try to get it on Lifehacker. Would you like to be in it? Both of them said yes. I asked them, who else should be in this bundle? Here's text, here's emails. Can you send it to your audience telling them that you're in this bundle? Send it to your free customers. Think about, how do you build marketing into your product? How do you build that in? Now, I launched this bundle and I emailed back the Lifehacker guy and they turned out writing about the productivity bundle. I also messaged my buddy Tim Ferriss. He tweeted about it. And what was crazy, I remember I was on the dorm room, I wasn't in college, at UC San Diego in California, launching this $50 productivity bundle. We sold 1,000 codes at $50. So that's $50,000 now, which sounds pretty damn sweet. And it was sweet. It was validation. It was like, okay, there's something happening with this business. But I made $5 per sale. So I made about $5,000 for around 3 months of work, which was still super amazing because I wasn't working super hard. I was really enjoying the process. I was enjoying getting the deals. But what you're starting to do is you're starting to really say, who is the exact customer that I'm excited to help and loves having me help them? Early on in the journey, I kept getting closer and closer to realizing it's really solopreneurs. It's people like myself, it's people like you, who are small business owners that don't like paying full prices, or they want to find cool tools. And how do I keep serving them? I went to Hacker News, news.ycombinator.com, and I found all of the most popular Y Combinator companies and did a YC bundle. And I'm talking Optimizely, billion-dollar company. There's a few other YC companies at the time, and we launched on Hacker News. So again, how do you work backwards from your customers and start getting closer and closer who your exact customer is? Now we're probably, I think within our first year, give or take almost $300,000. $300,000 for your first year revenue is absolutely insane. What finally did though get us to the $1 million mark was the South by Southwest 2011 Lean Startup Bundles. We worked with Eric Ries, we worked with Twilio, we worked with SendGrid, we worked with these literally billion-dollar companies today, but we helped launch them on AppSumo. So it was March 2011. I think we sold 10,000 of those bundles, some insane number. We hit the $1 million mark, which was just insane. And for me, we didn't focus on the revenue number. We were focused only on the email list. Within your own business, what's the number that actually matters? And what we found with AppSumo, and what we even found today with Noah Kagan and all the content we're doing, is still, it's the email list. So with AppSumo, our first year was how do we get 100,000 email list subscribers? And then in our second year, it was how do we get to 250,000 email subscribers? During this time from the 0 to 1 million, I did almost everything. I did customer support, I did the programming, I did the sales, I did the marketing, I did the crying. Oh God, this is sucky. But it wasn't actually that sucky. It was a very casual experience. I wasn't stressing. I wasn't like, how do I get to 1 million? If I get to 1 million, I'm finally worthy, which is a whole nother therapy episode. We'll do it another time. But it was really just like, hey, I'm enjoying these bundles. Let me do it at a pace that I find enjoyable, and I don't have to rush to get to any of these points. And I wasn't even aware. We didn't celebrate when we hit 1 million. I don't even know when we hit 1 million. It's only recently that I've looked back and be like, oh, that was pretty cool that we hit these numbers. Let me summarize some of these key points for you in the 0 to about $1 million journey. First off is get excited about the problem, helping software creators get customers. But the first two versions of it did not work. Now the third version of it, we did follow the $1 million weekend process, and instantly it worked. And that is such an important part in your business. You should not be convincing people of their problems. They should be excited to pay you for solving them. Once we got it working, the most important part is you just keep doing what works. So we did Reddit, then we did a life hacker bundle, then we did a YC bundle, then we did a design bundle, then we did a South by Southwest bundle. So you want to do these things over and over and over again. And there was not a lot of sophistication. Do all the work yourself so you understand the business yourself. I'm seeing a lot of people think they're going to buy a business and just know how to run a business. Business has a lot of complexity. And just because you buy a business doesn't mean you know how to run a business. That's very risky. So definitely learn from the 0 mark, so at least you're doing it with low risk. Customer first approach. So work backwards from your customers. What you'll notice is that I didn't go and get a deal and say, how do I get customers? And I see this with so many people today. Hey, I wrote a book, Noah. How do I get readers? It's like, you don't do it that way. You find the readers and then you write the book. You find the problem and you create the solution. And then the last key point, how do you build marketing into your product? So with all of my bundles, I gave all the partners marketing material that literally said, you can post this on social media, you can send this email, you can make this easy for yourself. So when we got to the $1 million mark, everything was pretty good. We weren't stressing, business was good. But here's what changed everything. We brought on one of my best friends, Andrew Chen. He's a venture capitalist, and Andreessen Horowitz. And he walked me through the 1-minute business model. If you keep doing bundles and you sell them for $50, you're making $5 a bundle. And each bundle was taking us months to put together. If you change it from bundles into just individual deals, you'll make $25 for everyone you do, and you can do more of them. After we changed the business model from bundles to individual deals, right here is where we started doing marketing motion, which is really what helped us 10x the business from the 300 to the 3 million mark and beyond. A few of the marketing motion things that really mattered is pre-fluencer sponsorships. You're gonna get the best ROI I've ever seen doing pre-fluencer sponsorships. So these are people that don't have market rates, they don't have agents, they don't have a press kit, and they're not getting a lot of people to sponsor them, which is great that you can help them out. And they have the highest quality audiences. We sponsored Tim Ferriss in 2011, 12. We sponsored Paul Stamatio, we've sponsored SitePoint. A lot of really targeted smaller audiences at that time, which were more affordable. Whereas I think Tim Ferriss today, we were sponsoring him for $5,000 a month. He now charges $50,000 an episode. So look for the people way earlier on. And that was such a huge strategy to help us get to this $3.5, $4 million mark in business. The other thing that was essential, and we talked about it in the 0 to 1, is your North Star metric. Now, your North Star metric for us in year 2 and 3 was still email list. We weren't focused on revenue as our main goal. We were focused on email list. And we wanted to get 250,000 email subs in year 2. Now, we weren't able to get it. We were struggling on that. And so one day I saw a magazine article in a women's catalog for a free trip to Italy. And I said, oh, that's kind of cool, free trip to Italy. I'd like to go. And I thought, oh, is there something we can do in AppSumo in software to promote to our customers that might get more people into our email list? So what if we did Dropbox? And I thought that'd be cool to do Dropbox for life, which is only $100 a year. And the question was, can we make more than $100 a year in profit by doing that giveaway? We launched that software Wednesday morning, and by noon, we had 100,000 email signups. And just doing that giveaway alone was an 8-figure activity that we still do 14 years later to this day at AppSumo.com. Look outside your industry for a lot of inspiration of things you can be doing. And so because we started spending on advertising and it was profitable advertising, we then scaled up the business very quickly from $300,000 in our first year to $3 million in sales in year number 2. Once we get to this $3.5 million mark, we plateaued. Now, you are going to plateau in business. That means that no matter what you do for a little bit of time, you are stuck at a number. And that is an easy time to say, I'm gonna start a new business or I'm gonna quit. The successful people stick with the plateaus and they get through their mastery and they grow. We tried a lot of new things during this plateau. We tried $1 deals, gimmick. We tried launching a lot of our own courses and a lot of content stuff. It was okay, but again, AppSumo was built to promote software deals. I personally was just losing a lot of passion. I felt like a used car salesman. All right, we got a deal. You want a deal? I got a deal. You got a deal? I didn't really believe in all the products we were promoting. The final straw for me was there was a product that taught people how to create an iPhone app, and it was a PDF. And I started going through it and I was like, this is extremely complicated and doesn't even really help you make an app. And it has our name on it. It has your name on it in your business. I was searching for a breakthrough to how the hell to get out of this plateau. We kept trying so many things for about 2 years, hiring different people, bringing on different people, but nothing was really changing our trajectory of the business. And it's frustrating, especially if you've had early success, you think you should keep having that success. So what I did is I went to India. I know that sounds totally crazy. Let me get something and show you. So this is me. It's a Lego thing I built, I don't know, kind of commemorating that I went to India to try to find myself and to try to fix AppSumo. Yeah, I copied Steve Jobs and I copied the Beatles and I thought I'd find enlightenment or I'd find something outside that would really give me the answer. And the answer is always inside. That's the unsexy, sexy part, which is what's the hard thing we're avoiding? What's the thing ourselves that we know the answer is, but we're a little afraid of doing it? What it ultimately ends up teaching us is that we can do the hard thing. It inspired me to just go back to being proud of AppSumo and doing the thing I started out to do, which is work with cool people, make enough money to live the life I wanted, and promote awesome software products. So we cut almost every product on the store and went back to the basics. We promoted products like PictoChart, which is doing great today, deposit photos. There's a lot of really special products, and we cut the team. We went from a team of 20 to a team of 4. As I share that with you, it feels a little demoralizing and it felt a little disappointing. I think at the time we felt excited. It felt like, okay, there's 4 of us. We don't have to worry about our expenses as much. We can do the thing we want. It felt like we were literally on a very purposeful mission. Like, let's just go back and promote dope ass products and have a really fun time with it. Instead of doing a deal a day, we just did 4 deals a month. The new pace was slower. The new pace was sustainable. You know, you might say this was a course correction. AppSumo was going very, very fast in the wrong direction. Our problem at the time was that our deals can do really poorly or really well, and it makes it very inconsistent. So we thought we're gonna create our own products to help AppSumo grow. So we hired a CEO, and his name was Ayman Al-Abdullah. So Ayman became CEO around here, which is around the $3.5–4 million mark. And it was set, and we told him, please just don't change anything while we get the revenue on our new SaaS tool, which was SumoMe growing. We gave him AppSumo, and we said, you need to do 4 deals a month, make $120,000 a month, and don't change anything. Now, a few things are interesting here. One, we ended up hitting 10 million with Ayman. I have no idea when. Again, a lot of the times these numbers are more exciting to share externally, but internally, we were looking at, are we promoting products we like? Are we doing the thing we like? And is it with other people we like? And for Ayman, the way that he was able to get past 10 million with AppSumo is a few key things. One, the market got bigger. That's why your market selection is so critical. When I started AppSumo, there was 10 products. Today, there are over 100,000 software products for solopreneurs. The other thing that Ayman was excellent in, he did not try to do new things. While me and Chad, my business partner, were kind of always looking for their next thing and new marketing and new. Ayman's like, what are the things that are already working that I know in AppSumo? He said, hey, ads are working. Let's go back to ads and hire a dedicated ads person. Email marketing is working. Why don't we hire a dedicated email person and then get that growing even more? During that time period, me and Chad were trying a lot of new businesses that just ultimately did not work. So SumoMe didn't work, Haul Drop didn't work, Meet Fam didn't work. The main thing around all these different products that didn't work were that they didn't serve our core customer. And our core customer is a solopreneur, freelancer, agency, startup. It's a team of one. It's a person who wants to have a big business that doesn't spend big business prices on software. All the new things we built were not serving that person. So that was a huge mistake. Just find the things that are working and do as much of that as possible and hire people to focus on those parts. Now let's break down, how do you go from like the 10 million mark now to the $100 million mark? The way I like to think about it in this phase is, how do you just improve the core? So our deals, can we improve the offering of our deals? Can we improve the pricing of our deals? Can we be testing the website? We tested the size of the buy buttons. We test the timer on the site. So we put them at the top, so we put them at the bottom. We test the plans, like how many plans do our customers want? What's best for them and our partners? So you start really testing on the things and finding what's working, and then really investing hardcore. People are doing testing too soon. At the $1 million mark, a 1% improvement is $10,000 at the $1 million mark. It's a lot less significant. When you do a test and have a 1% improvement on $10 million, that's $100,000 that compounds now from forever. A few other key parts of the journey that you're going to go on from the 10 to $100 million number is advisors were a game changer for us. What I recognize is that it's much easier to hire affordable, super smart people and then pair them with an expert advisor. Chief People Officer Christine from Duolingo, Rajatish Mukherjee from Indeed. He advises me on operations. He helps run Indeed.com. Moody Glasgow, former CMO of Zapier and Glassdoor. Andrew Chen, who I've talked about as well before. As well, for every other executive, I want them having someone. So Alona, who's our COO, she has the COO of Automatic. Sean, who's our VP of Revenue, he has someone who's the revenue advisor from MindBody Online and Outdoorsy. So in your own business, how do you find these coaches or advisors who have already done the things that you want to do exactly? Other things that really expanded from the 10 to 100 million is we found that creating our own products actually was the #1 driver of people into the AppSumo ecosystem. So we really doubled down on that. And so the two core products for us are tidycow.com and sendfox.com. Now, the other products we've built in the past were not aligning to the core customer, bringing people into the ecosystem. It was totally separate business lines in new customers, new verticals. These products are low-cost alternatives to popular products that get people into AppSumo, and it's been a game changer in terms of our growth. On our path to $100 million, the market exploded. COVID happened, solopreneurship was on the rise, affordability of a lot of the software was on the rise, people realizing they could be entrepreneurs. You really want to try to find something that you can say, hey, in the next 6 months or 6 years, can I see this market getting bigger? How do you find non-obvious markets? So if you think about a market, what does that mean? A market is when it's an efficient place that people are aware of, so there's a price because of supply and demand. You're looking for that imbalance. So before other people have seen it, you are looking at it. Like crypto, Shopify, AI, all these things that you've heard of already now means it's an obvious market. So another key part here is, as we talked about with testing, is improving the core, and then the core of AppSumo is the deal. So can we get better products? Can we figure out better pricing? Can we figure out better partnerships? And that's something that in your own business, how do you keep thinking about, okay, what's the thing our customers are coming for and how do we make sure that is an amazing experience? But what happened here is that I went really fast again in the wrong direction. I thought we should have a marketplace where we go from 600 products to 13,000 products in AppSumo. So just flood the market with products. And then we also needed many more employees. And we went from 60 to 130. We hired fast. It was kind of just a tough time. The numbers were looking good, but there was a lot of disagreements in the business. There was a lot of bad hires in the business. We even hired an expert, specifically in engineering, and he came and insulted me, insulted the rest of the leadership team a lot. And it's fine to be critical. It's not fine to be toxic. And he didn't even want to meet with any of the people in his team. Just a lot of really bad mistakes just from that hire and a lot of other decisions in that period. Luckily, in the past 2 years, we went back to basics. This is kind of maybe the moral of the story from the even zero all the way down to the $100 million mark, which is find a good product, send an email about it, do it again. Solutions that we've done to really scale to the 100 million and beyond. Hiring now experts in really all categories. So there's kind of 3 core questions, and these have been inspired from NVIDIA, from Amazon and beyond. Number 1 is the Helsinki test. Would you want to spend an overnight in Helsinki airport with this person? Number 2, do they raise the bar? So by bringing them on, are they actually raising the bar, whatever field or category that you're hiring them on? And number 3, would we be disappointed if a competitor hired them? And as you now are trying to get into the 100 million and beyond, these are really key areas of finding people that answer yes to all 3 questions. So the second thing I'm highlighting is sophistication. When I just got started, I was like, how much does the deal cost? 50 bucks? That seems like a good price. Let's just make it 50. I had the genius idea of saying our prices are too high, lower them, without looking at any data. And it actually ended up tanking the business. It tanked our average order value. So we have a team of 2 people, shout out Bob and Alfredo, plus Sean and Madison, that are dedicated to business intelligence and data analysis. We spend on software almost $1 million a year on this analysis stuff, in addition to the teammate costs. So the sophistication goes from time of day we launch deals, when we send our emails, pricing of every single product, partner splits to help them and us get the best for the businesses. There's dashboards that come out every single day. I'll try to put up one on the screen here. You can see one of our daily pulses. There's tracking down to the hour. Maybe just giving you one of the crazier examples, like we can predict our financial accuracy monthly within 5%. And that helps you hire, that helps you buy ads, that helps you run a business really effectively so that you can get to $100 million and beyond. Now, the last thing that I would say has been critical in this part of the business is that we still are not really doing a lot of new business lines, right? It's still find a deal, promote a deal. But what happens is as you go from a team of 1 to a team of 10 to a team of 100, things become unclear and people have their own ideas. So how do you coordinate these things? And so we have 2 key things that have really helped us do that. Number 1, it's called our MOM, our Master Operating Manual. And in our Master Operating Manual, it says like, what's our net profit income margin that we're trying to be targeting? It's 10%. What is our growth rate year to year that we want to be averaging? It's around 7%. And so what you're trying to do is, as you bring on new people and as people are operating without Noah and without others, how do we make sure they know how to do the business principles consistently? And this goes across so many different attributes. Now, the other part of the communication equation is we have things about how to do the business operations. How about behavior operations? So that is our teammate handbook. There's gonna be a link below in the description so you can actually see what our handbook looks like. Now, this is how do we decide who works really well at AppSumo and how to behave when no one is looking. So some of the things that I've even talked about in this video: test and invest, double down, we hire adults, work doesn't have to suck, protect your time. Like, these are things about how do you behave in the business culturally that helps you excel at AppSumo. And ultimately with AppSumo, and I think within your business, we call it never forget the tacos. You guys see, I eat a shit ton of tacos. A lot of the videos are tacos. On my shirt, on my sweater is tacos. Never forgetting the taco is just remembering why you're doing this. Remembering that you're here to have fun. Remembering you're on a planet in space, trying to create business that helps another person. And so stay true to the values. If you've heard in the journey of the roadmap to 100 million, it's not been pretty. You're not gonna go in a straight line here to here. It's like, all right, and then you kind of come back a few ways, then you go on a detour and you come around. But what are the core things that you don't want to be forgetting? And for us, at the end of the day, it's liking the work we want to do, and it's promoting awesome software deals for solopreneurs. So in terms of growing 100 million and beyond, our business is not how do we just keep growing our revenue, it's how do we keep serving our customers more and more. The point is to enjoy your work, enjoy your life, and have a good balance of that. So for us at AppSumo, a lot of our vision and what we're excited to, it's less about the money and more about where we want to go as a company, is how do we be the #1 place to promote software products for solopreneurs? So whether it's a deal on AppSumo, maybe it's a review site, maybe there's some other things down the roadmap. Like, we want to be the one-stop shop for all software creators to promote and market their tools to solopreneurs. And I think there's a lot of room for us to grow in that. It's not like a straight line path. 2, you can have fun along the way. And 3, the most important is to get started right now and get that first sale to lead you on this really amazing, fun business journey to $100 million or wherever it is that you want to go. If you've loved this video and you want to see exact step-by-step of how to do it for yourself, we have another video showing where I go from 0 to $1 million within 48 hours following the $1 million weekend process right up here. Make sure you check it out. Uncle Noah loves you. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you out there.